Welcome back to another Flutter tutorial. In today's episode, let's learn how we can refactor this code right here. In the last video, we created a new project and we created this layout right here. We used all the widgets that we learned throughout this tutorial series and combined them together to create this layout that has two sections. The top section and the bottom section, and in the bottom section we have these widgets right here. But as you can see, our code starts to becoming extensive. This is because by default Flutter is very verbose. You need to specify a widget and then apply some customization and then insert other widgets inside of each other. So in this episode, let's learn how to solve this problem by refactoring this code. In Flutter, we have three ways to refactor your code. You can create a constant widgets. You can create a method that will return a widget, or you can create stateless widget that you can use inside of your layout. By defining constants, you can call them inside of any widgets, and by building methods, you can split your layout into different sections. And by using stateless widget, you can decouple widgets from each other, and then you can use dependency injection to provide arguments to that widget. And this will improve your app performance. We'll learn more about that when we learn about stateful widget. But for now, let's learn how to refactor our code. So right here we have these three text widget. Let's make them a constant. So come right here, select this text widget, cut it, and come right here at the top. Let's define final. This will make it a constant, and then this will be display text. This will equal to a constant, and then paste your text widget. When you do this, you created this variable right here. Then just copy this variable and paste it right here inside of this first padding widget. Let's do the same thing for the remaining two text widget. So cut it, come right here. It needs to be a constant, so make it final. This will be subtitle equals to a constant, and then paste it, add a semicolon, and now copy the subtitle right here and paste it here. And now let's do the same thing for this last text widget. Come right here, final, and this will be caption text. This will be equals to a constant, paste it, and add a semicolon. Copy this caption and paste it right here. So this is how we can create constant widgets right here. So let's do some indentation now. Format your document. So we have 1, 2, and 3 texts defined as a constant. So the second way you can refactor your code is by using methods. So as you can see right here for this padding widget, we just wrap in these 3 texts and we are using padding with the same value. As you can see, we are repeating this code. So in software development, one concept is don't repeat yourself. If you find yourself repeating the same code over and over, a better way is to create a method. So let's do this. To create a method, you click on this padding widget and then click on this yellow bolt and select the option extract method right here. And here you have to name your method. To make it private, you can use underscore and then you can name your method. Let's call this padded text. Enter. And if you scroll at the bottom of your page, you will see this method right here. So now let's improve this method a little bit. First of all, you can see we're still hard coding this display text. So if you call this method, we cannot provide this second text widget right here for the caption and another one for the subtitle. So first of all, let's make this method get some arguments. So for that, you can use curly bracket and then you have to define your parameters. So this will be required, and then we'll have to provide a type for our widget, this will be the text widget, and then for the name of your argument, this will be text. So now copy this text widget and just replace it right here. So now our text will come from specified right here to use a generic widget instead of using padding widget. So save everything. Now we get this error right here. So now we have to call this text property right here and specify our argument. This will be the display text. So now copy this method and let's paste it 2 more times for the remaining 2 text widget. This will be for the subtitle, and then this last one will be for this caption text right here. So paste everything, and now we can remove this padding widgets right here. Save everything. Let's format our code. Right here, we can also make this spacer widget coming from a method. As you can see, we have right here spacer 1, the second one in the middle, and then the last one we still have a spacer, but have the difference is on this flex argument right here. So let's do a refactor using a method. So again, underscore to make it private. Let's call this add space. Enter. And now let's do the same thing as we did with this padding widget. We need now to specify the value for your flex property. So this will be an int type and this will be optional. So let's call this flex value. And to make it optional, you need to define a default value. So the default value will be 1. So just copy right here, replace it here, save it. Now when you hover over this add space, you can see right here, the flex value will be equal to 1 if you don't provide any value. So just copy right here, replace it here, and then let's replace at the bottom. And now we specify the flex value. So flex value will be equals to 2. Save everything. We're not seeing any changes in our layout, but what we will do will improve your app performance. So now one thing I want to do is refactor these 2 sections of your app right here. So for this first one, let's create a method and call this first section. Enter. And then let's do the same thing for the second section. So as you can see right here, now your code is becoming more manageable. We have now 4 methods that we are using to create our layout. You can also refactor this column widget right here. Let's do the same thing. Let's make it private and call this build body. Enter. So here we have now a method, and inside of this method we have this column widget with 2 methods right here, and each method is returning an expandable widget. So you will see this pattern right here, body equals to build body. This is very common in the Flutter community, so we'll see it a lot in this tutorial series. So now that we have defined our build body, our first section, and then our second section, let's now refactor this code inside of this second section right here. If you see right here inside of this container on the top and at the bottom, we are doing the same thing. We have the same value for margin and we are sizing this button. The only difference is the type of button we are using right here. This is the fill button and this one is the outline button. So now just copy this container widget right here. And now let's use the third method, which is creating a stateless widget. So for that, come inside of this lib folder and create a new subfolder. Let's call this widgets. And inside of this subfolder, we'll define all the widgets that are common throughout this app. So add a new file. This will be sized underscore button underscore widget dot. So this is a pattern that I like to do. For page, I will use underscore page, and for widget, I'll use underscore widget at the end. Enter, type STL and select the option stateless widget. Let's change the name to be size button widget, and here just replace this placeholder with your container. So again, we are hard coding this field button. So now we need to define a new variable of type widget that will call inside of this size box widget. So make it a final. This will be widget. So you can use any type of widget, and this will be called child button. Add semicolon, and then you have to come right here inside of this constructor. After this key, add a comma, and then you can use require. So the user has to provide this widget, and you can call this a dot, and you have access to this widget right here. So now just copy this child button and replace it instead of using this rcode field button. Save everything. Now copy the name of your class right here. Let's go inside of this method second section list right here, and before this first container, paste it, add the parentheses, add a comma, and make sure you import this widget right here. So now we have to provide this child button. Just copy this field button right here, cut it, and place it here. Let's do the same thing for the bottom one. Come right here, paste it, cut this outline button right here, and paste it here. So now remove the second container and the first one. Add a comma right here to remove this error. Save everything. And we are getting this error right here. Let's see what it's complaining about. It says no construction right here. Let's see what's going on. We just needed to rebuild our project one more time. So this is how you can refactor your code. As you can see, we divide our layout into sections. We have this first section, the second section. They are being called inside of this build method. This will return a column widget with these two sections. And inside of these two sections, we have these methods for adding space and text with a padding widget on it. And here we are calling this stateless widget, and we are providing the buttons that we need to size inside of this size button widget. So this is it for this video. As you can see, to refactor your code is pretty straightforward. As you get used to it, start by building your app using methods, and if you want to decouple, you can use stateless widgets, and you use dependency injection here to provide the widgets that you need inside of your stateless widget. So this is it for this video. In the next video, let's make our app more interactive. Now when the user click on this app, we need to go to another page. Subscribe for our YouTube channel so you can help our channel grow, and you can get notification when new videos are coming out, and also give a like video so we can get more exposure on YouTube. This is it. See you on the next one.